Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another night of Painting with Harold, and I feel like after 3 days of fighting that wave that I have nicknamed the Haunted Wave, that it's time to redeem myself a little bit and just have some fun tonight. What I got up here is an 11 by 14 canvas. I got it turned on landscape and it is already covered in a thin, even coat of liquid white. And my colors tonight are titanium white, Prussian blue, alizarin crimson, mountain mix, dark sienna, Van Dyke brown, sap green, cad yellow, yellow ochre, Indian yellow, and the evil bright red. And I know that's a lot of color for a little canvas, but we're just going to throw something up here and see what happens. We may use all of them, we may not. Alright, I'm going to start out. I'm going to take my brush, just go into a little bit of this Prussian blue. Don't want much color on the brush, just a little bit. I'm going to come up here and just start with my 8 strokes. Can I get my corners darker? And just come up here and just dance the brush around. Just let it do whatever it wants to do. We'll slowly come down to the horizon. Let it get lighter as it comes down. Just like so. Alright. Then I'll knock a little bit of this, because it picked up that magic white, and I'll knock a little bit of this color out of the brush on a paper towel over here. And I'll come in, pick up a little more color. And I'll start coming in from the side. Get a little bit more color on here. Yeah, there we go. And just come from the outsides in. And just let it fade as it gets to the top, toward the horizon. And we'll get a little more paint. We'll go to the other side, do the same thing. Just pull it in. Mixing with that liquid white. It's going to get a little lighter as it goes up. Alright. Knock some more of this paint out right quick. We'll come up, just start slowly blending, or lightly blending. It ain't got to be slow. And blend them corners out a little, but leave them dark. Just like so. And do the same thing down here. Just lightly blend it. And if we get lucky, that white spot in the middle will end up being a little sheen of light coming across our water. If this stays water. Alright, about like so. Then we'll knock some more paint out of this brush. Alright, I'll hang on to it for a minute. Then we'll take another 1-inch brush and we'll come up here and we'll tap right into some titanium white. And I just want to come up here with just a pretty decent little cloud. Just let him come up here and float around. Get a little more paint. Up here and just kind of let him come in and dance around. Now we've got a light background, so that cloud's going to be kind of light colored. Then we'll come back and just blend the bottom out a little bit. That's something dancing around on the canvas up here. Alright, we'll come in here and lightly fluff it up. And just lightly blend over it. We don't need a real whole lot of clouds today in this little sky. Not for this. It's just going to be a fun little painting to just to have something to do. All right, now I'll put this one up here a little brighter, and just let it dance around up here, about like so. And we'll come back and I don't know what this is that keeps dancing around up here, but it's just this little piece of fabric or whatever. Alright, about like so. And we'll take and fluff it up. And we'll come across it real light. And just kind of blend it down. About like so. And then just for the sake of things, we'll come up here and we'll just put us another little floater in, just so we'll have another, just for the sake of it. And it ain't got to be nothing special either. Just a fun little cloud. I ain't adjusted my lights. I don't know how this is working out. I forgot I was working on something else. That may be a little better. Alright, and I'll just lightly pull across that. About like so. Alright, drop that brush in the thing. Now I'm going to grab my knife. I'm going to come over here into my mountain mix. And I'll come up about right here. And I'll just come up here and lay in a little mountain shape. We're just going to build a nice little mountain today. We just want to keep him kind of roughed up looking. One of them kind of mountains. Come over here. Pull out a little on that side. And just let it work out. And on this side we'll come up here and put him in another little peak right in here. Let it just kind of work itself around. Just let that knife go wherever and do whatever it wants to do up here. This is just a fun painting. Just something to do to have a little fun. Something to relax doing. Because I'm telling y'all, there was something going on serious with that wave. And I can't explain it. I don't even want to try to explain it. But anytime you paint a painting, and you paint the same painting 3 times, and each time you have problems with equipment that you know you shouldn't be having problems with, hey, you know, that'll make you go to scratching your head. Alright, come up here and just scrape out this paint. just like so. Then I'm going to clean my knife off again. Then I'm going to take that first brush I was using to do the sky. I'll come up and start pulling this color out. Just like that, just and then get as much of it out as you can. And then come across the bottom and just kind of blend some of the color out. About like so. Alright. Now we got 3 brushes over here that are dirty. So I'm going to go ahead and wash them right quick. Won't take but a second. Because I'm doing the triple wash technique over here. I'm holding all 3 of them, washing them all at one time. I'm going to beat the devil out of them. Pick up my knife again. I'm going to come over here into my titanium white. I'm going to pull it out flat as I can get it. Pick me up a little roll of paint. And I'm going to come right up here and start pulling some color down. And as always, this is just a very light touch. It's always a very light touch. Just pulling that paint out. And just let it pull off that knife. That's all we do. I'm beginning to think I told y'all wrong on the color. This looks more like a midnight black than a mountain mix with all that lavender in it. I may have picked up the wrong hue, which it don't really matter. I mean, it matters that if y'all trying to duplicate it, but I'm gonna call this midnight black, not mountain mix. So if you try to paint it, I'm gonna suggest you use a midnight black, not mountain mix. Now for a shadow color, I'll pull out a little more of this white. And I'll come over here and get just a tad bit of the Prussian blue. And just mix them colors together. And we'll come right up here and start dropping this in a little shadow color up here. And you want to use this shadow color in the opposite direction that you pull down your snow or your highlights. Just come up here and sneak in that little spot. And I'm using the little edge of the knife to get back in here, so it's a little easier. Just come in here and pull it down. Give yourself a little shadow in here. That's all I'm doing. Just like so. And then right here I see where I got a little bit of the color on my highlight right there. So we'll fix that right quick. And we'll come up here and we'll do the same thing. Just come over here and start working with some shadow color down. Using light pressure again. Just real light pressure. Just let that paint pull off your knife. That's all you got to do. You don't have to make it do it. It'll do it itself. Just like so. Come in here and you make this a little more seen since it's closer, like so. Just pull it down the opposite direction, just like that, and then just continue up here, working it on around, just like that. Just let that paint break. Now we're going to pick us up a little of the dark color that we made the mountain with. And we'll come right in here and give us a little indication of a little bit darker ridge. Get some of these darker shadow up here in places. And then we'll come back along and just kind of work them in. Like right up here. We'll bring that down. About like so. Same with this one. Just kind of pull it around lightly. That's all you got to do. And then the same thing right here. Just pull it down kind of light. About like so. We can take a couple little dots if we want to, and come over here and darken some of these spots up in our mountain that just kind of sticking out in places. Just give them a little touch of shadow. Don't take much, just enough to make them look like they got little dark spots back in them. That's all you got to do. Just like that. Nothing real fancy. And then take that little edge and just come right back up and just pull them down. Just don't kill all of it. I mean, you just brought it up here and put it in here, so leave a little of it in here. Not like that. That's all you gotta do. And it just adds a little flavor to your overall effect. Because just like doing the highlights, your shadows are not going to all be the same color either. So there ain't no sense in trying to make them. Alright, now I'm going to come back up here and work on this a little bit. I ain't crazy about this shade. I'm going to bring this on around like so. And then pull this out. Make this kind of turn that way a little bit. Make that mountain look more full right there. Not like so. And that pulled some of that purple down into it. That don't look half bad. Alright. Now I will come right here and get just a little bit of the color we used, Midnight Black. And I'll come up here and just very lightly tap on a couple little areas out in here. Because I'm going to come back and just work them in real light, about like so. Now I'm going to pick up a little more white. You come up here and just let that white break over this color real lightly. Try to give it a little bit more rough, ridgy look on that face. Just enough to cover up the purple we just brought down. You always have that one spot that just don't want to cooperate. It's always gotta be there to mess things up. Alright, about like that. That should be plenty to do what we're trying to do with this little mountain. About like that. Alright. We just want us a rugged little mountain up here. Alright, now I'm going to take another clean, dry 1-inch brush. I'm just going to come up here and just lightly tap across the bottom here, just like we always do. Just real light. Just real light, just like so. You create that little bit of mist down at the bottom. Just like that. Then we'll do the same on this side. Like so. Alright, then real light, we're going to come back and pull this color up in the same direction. Just real light. Real light. This is a very light touch. Kind of like if you was handling a newborn baby. Then just come along and blend out your brush strokes in the bottom. Just like so. Then we got our little layer of mist right there. Alright, I'm going to come up here now and I am going to pick up some, let's see what would be a good color. Alright, I'll do this with my knife. I'm going to take just a hint of Prussian blue, the midnight black that we used in the mountain, and a little Van Dyke brown, and I'm going to mix these three colors together, and I just want a good dark color. If this color comes out looking black, I won't even be mad about it. Then I'm going to take and put just a little bit of sap green in it. Just a little bit. Alright. Then I'm going to pick up that same 1-inch brush that we just made the mist with, and we'll bring it up here and tap in just a corner like we always do. And we'll get some paint on it. Then we'll come up here at the bottom of my mountain, and I just want to start. Alright, watch this. I'm going to touch it and pull it down. That's all I'm doing. Just touching it and pulling it straight down across here. That's all I'm doing. Touching it and pulling it down. That's all I'm doing. You can come in here and you can make some taller, shorter, however you want to do it. I'm just coming in here touching and pulling straight down. That's all I'm doing. And then I'll come over into my mountain about right there. You can come under that a little bit and touch and pull down. Because all you're trying to do is just make it look like some little distant trees back here. That's all we're doing. And the reason we're doing it with the 1-inch brush is because as long as these bristles are open, it'll make thousands of them quick. Just make sure you're pulling them down straight. Just like so. Just pull them down. That's all I'm doing. Just like so. Alright. Then you can pick up another clean, dry 1-inch brush and come up here and just lightly pull through them and lift them up. Just don't pull them up, you know, real high into the mountain. Just ever so little. You don't want them to look like they're 40 foot up the mountain back here. You want to just kind of flick up the tops of them a little bit. That's all you want to do. Then you knock that paint out of your brush, come back along the bottom and just tap that color out. Real light. Just like so. Just kind of take out your brush stroke, or your smash strokes, we'll call them. Alright, then we'll pick up that same brush again, and we'll come up here and load it up with the same color. Same color. And we'll come down under the mist just a little, and we're going to do the same thing again. We just want to do this in the mist, because we want it to be seen. So, not to mention having that mist up there in between them, it'll be your separator, so don't kill all that mist. It's your friend. That's what Bob said. It's your friend. So we want to leave it there. We don't want to get rid of our friend. And then just lightly pull it down again. Just like so. Then we'll take the same brush. Alright, that paper towel there, everything got kind of contaminated. So I'm going to grab me another one. Then we're going to come right up here and we'll gently start pulling them up. And just like the other ones, we want to just flick them right out. We don't want to, at the top, we don't want to pull them up, you know, make them look like 40-foot trees back here. But we do want them to be seen. And them little dark spots that it's leaving in there, that just adds to the overall illusion. Alright, now you can take your same 1-inch brush that you just used and come in and pull it across that color maybe once or twice and get you a little paint on the brush. And come up here and just very lightly come under here and just pull straight down. I'm working at an angle, so my straight down ain't too straight right now. I got to fix that. Alright, let me get over here where I can see what I'm doing. Because these shadows ain't straight down, that's really not going to look good. But just come across here and pull them straight down. Your reflections is what these are going to be. Just little reflections in the water. And come back up here and pull these up a little. Alright, and you can knock some color out of that brush because y'all know what's next. And we'll come across here and just real lightly blend this out and give ourselves some instant reflections right there. Alright, I can already see that I am going to have a little bit more water. So I'll grab some right quick. Put a little out. It don't take much. I didn't put much of no color out tonight because these colors are I mean, this canvas was so little, I didn't think it'd take a whole lot of color to do what we was going to do. Alright, then I'm going to come up here and get some of this white. And get it on top of my knife. I'm going to come across here with my water line. Keep that water line as straight as you can, even if you have to drop down and come out a little further from your trees. Make sure you keep your water line straight. Like right here where I had to drop down a little, all that does is just make it look like the trees come out a little further in that one spot than they do everywhere else. That little simple step ain't going to create a whole lot of depth, but it's not going to create no problems either, like a crooked water line. Because a crooked water line is hard to deal with. Alright. And we'll come across here and work it in a little. Then we'll come out in the water and give ourselves the indication of a couple little ripples. About like so. Now I'm going to take that same 1-inch brush that's got all that green and all them other colors on it. And I'm going to come up here and pick up just a little bit of alizarin crimson and add to the color. Because the alizarin crimson and green make brown, remember. And it'll tone some of that color down some. Probably not a lot, but some. Now this brush is loaded with paint right now. I mean loaded. Well, my bristles are open, so. Alright, then I'm going to come right up here in my cloud, and I'm just going to start with just a random tree shape, just like so. Just bring it right down over our little trees we just made, over into our mountain, about like so. And then right in here, I'm going to start applying a little more pressure to get this kind of dark, to make it look like we got a change happening right here, which we kind of do. And we'll bring this out. And we'll just work all this in down in here and make it look like we're going to have little bushes and little trees in front of that big one. And we'll just bring it across. And we'll just kind of let it lay down out here. Not like so. Not like that. That's all we got to do. Just keep everything straight, and everything will be happy that way. Alright, we're going to go ahead and drop that brush on into thinner now. Alright, now I am going to come back up here, and I'm going to take a little bit of the dark sienna and a little bit of the Van Dyke brown and about half sap green I got left, and we'll mix them colors on the palette. I'm gonna mix them good. I usually say it don't matter, but I am this time. I'm gonna go ahead and mix them pretty good, because the color I'm looking for, I want a green, but I still want to see a little bit of the brown in it. And I probably should have made this color out of the alizarin crimson and sap green, but it shouldn't really matter. Just as long as it's a good dark green, we'll be alright. Alright. Then I'm going to pick up my fan brush, and this is a number 6 fan brush, and I'm going to come up here and run it in both sides of this color. Then I'm going to come right up here just a little above the mountain. I'm going to come straight down, about like so. Alright, I'm going to come right here and start with a little, just a very little bit of the motion that we're going to be needing. Touched a lot of that white right there. Alright, then we'll start coming down. Alright, one of the problems, let me get to that right quick while we're here. I want to address this. One of the problems a lot of people are having with these evergreens is when you come up here with that brush and you start doing this, people are wanting to turn the brush. Don't turn the brush. Turn your wrist. Keep the brush in the same position. Just turn your wrist, and it'll see how it does that. It'll pull these out at a different angle. If you come up here and you try to rotate your hand and turn that brush around in all these different directions, it's gonna, they're just not gonna fall in here the way they need to. You don't change the position of your brush. You change the position of your hand. you leave that brush basically in the same position, if that makes any sense. I hope it does, because if you get over that hump of wanting to turn that brush, where you using it head on, or trying to go up or down, don't do that. Just change your hand motion. All right, we'll do it again right quick. I want to make sure it kind of works for you. I don't know if I'm going to bring these all the way off. I think I do, because I'm going to do these pretty tall. All right, we'll just bring the trunk on down. When you come back in here, you come in the middle and cover your trunk, and then you just come out and lower your hand. See how I'm just lowering my hand? And I'm just tapping. And the brush, by tapping, is what's actually doing the shape. See it? I'm not, alright, since I'm down this low, I'll show you. I'm not turning the brush like this. That's not what I'm doing at all. What I'm doing is I'm touching and I'm dropping just a little bit, and just still tapping the brush. And the further you get down, the harder you can tap. See, the harder you tap, the wider your tree gets. So you just have to it's basically, that's the motion you want to use. Alright, then we will mix this color up again. Alright, we'll come up here and we'll put us a little bit taller. Now that we know we're going all the way off the canvas with it. Alright, we'll come back up here, start with our first little marks, because we gotta have them first little marks. And then sometimes, the faster you go with it, the better it works for you. So maybe going too slow is the problem. I don't know. But one thing to keep in mind is, if you mess the shape up a little bit, don't worry too much about it, because when you start doing your highlights, you can always come back in there and pick and choose. Where you can make this tree in front or this tree in front. That's entirely up to you, and that's basically however you decide you want to run your highlight. That's all it is. We'll come up here and give this one a little. Oh, I should have stayed out of that snow, because it messed that top all up. Alright. That's probably going to be a whole lot of people get mad at us for doing this way, by doing 2 instead of 3, but oh well, they'll get over it. Alright. I'm going to get just a little bit of thinner on my brush with the same color in it, and I'll come right over here into my cad yellow, and this will turn a real funky color green, and I do not want a real bright green no way, so we want it to kind of take on a, well, let's put us a trunk in. I almost forgot to do that. Y'all almost let me forget to do it. Alright, I'll take a little of the dark sienna and a little of the white and just quick mix them. Get a little roll of paint. Just come in here and touch a couple. Ooh, not that much. I gotta come back and get some of that off. Not like so. That's a lot of paint right there. may not look it, but it is. Alright, now we'll come up here with our highlight color. I'm going to make this tree in the front. So I'm going to come up here first and highlight this one. You want to highlight your furthest one away first. And I don't want a whole lot of real bright color on this one. I want these to look like healthy summertime evergreens. Just a little bit more thinner. Make it stick over that color. I want these to look good and healthy. Let it pick that color up as it comes down. That way when you get closer and closer to the bottom, it gets darker and darker. Just like so. Be sure not to kill all your darks. And I'm going to say that again when we get over here. Alright, I'm going to come right up here. And now I want to highlight this one. We're going to do it the same way. We're just going to touch around. But see how it's separating now from that other tree? Just by putting this highlight in front of that one. And just, that's all you got to do is just bring it up here and put it on in different places. Just like that. Let it get darker as it comes down. Just like so. Alright, now if you got a lot of your dark color went and disappeared, let me show you how you can fix that. Right quick. You come right back up in there, same color you just made the tree out of, your dark color, and you can come right back in here and you can add some of it. Just add you some dark color at random in here. Just kind of separate your, give your limbs some separation, and add a little dark back in your tree. That's all you got to do, just at random places, just like so. Kind of work it in. Don't leave it out there just glaring. Like right here, that's closed together. Watch this. You can come right in here and just tap a little color across there, just like that. And then you can open them. You can open them bristles right back up. Just that easy. Just come right under here and it's a real light touch, because you put a little thinner in it to make it stick. And it's a light touch like it is everywhere else when you trying to get a little paint to go in one place. Alright, now I'm going to get my script liner. I'm going to get it in the thinner. And we'll come back up here in the same color we made the tree with. Over here. And I want to pull the trunk in, like so. And we'll give it a trunk, or some branches now. Just here and there. Alright, then we'll come over here, give this a little branch or two, make it look like a separate tree altogether. We'll put a trunk up through there and make it look like another one running back in there. And we'll come through at random over here and just add a few trunks that might get seen and might not. We don't know. And if they don't, we won't cry about it. Alright, I'm going to take just a little bit of thinner on this 1-inch brush. Got a clean one now. I'm going to come right over here into a little ochre. And we'll go up here and get some of this alizarin crimson. And mix these colors right on the brush. And there's a little green in here that I picked up from the side up there, but not much. It's mainly crimson and ochre. So Alright, I want to come up here now at random and just tap us on some color. Just being careful not to kill all the dark here. And we want to leave ourselves a nice indication of a little bit of outside edge here. And if you can keep it to where you can see some through some of it, that's fine too. And then come over here and just like so. And then we'll quit right there. And we'll leave all this dark at the bottom, and that'll come back in a little bit and be kind of good for us. Alright, now I'm going to come pick up just a little bit of bright red. And I'll bring it over here in the same color. And I'm just going to mix it in. And that'll make it just a little bit brighter. It'll make it just a little brighter red than what we got back here. And that'll be enough to give us our color change. Just like so. And then we'll bring this one down about that far and leave a little dark. Alright, then I'll just briefly knock some color out of the brush. Not much. Well, my nose is clogged up tonight. Alright, now I'm going to come up here and I'll get a little cad yellow by itself, just straight cad yellow. Alright, and I'm going to come right here and just tap on a little of that color. Now when you do that, it's going to pick up a little of that green that was under there. But even at that, just, you know, don't worry about it. Just make sure you leave yourself some dark. And then you can just kind of work it around and then let it get darker as it goes out, like so. Alright, we'll pick up just a little bit of thinner. And I think now I'm going to bring this Indian yellow, like so, into here. And that should be enough color to give us an indication right under here. Oh yeah, there we go. That's pretty. That's real pretty. Wow. That color just jumped right in here, didn't it? Look at that. Oh my goodness. I love that color. Alright, if y'all watching this video and y'all made it this far in it, let me know what y'all think about that color. That's a little bit of red. Well, it's other colors with a little yellow and a little yellow ochre in it. Cad yellow and yellow ochre. I kind of like it myself. Alright, now I'm going to come up here and pick up some sap green and bring it right into this color, into the same color, and kind of lighten it down a little. But it's still gonna appear to be green. Oh, that don't even look good beside that pretty bush. That little bush right there is showing out. Wow. Alright, I'm gonna grab a little more yellow and put it in that one. I ain't crazy about that one. It just ain't holding my attention. I'm gonna lighten him up a little bit, not much. Alright, now I'm gonna come back over here in my red again. Cut some red in my brush. Just make sure these bristles are open. You always want your bristles open. Alright, now we're going to put us a little firecracker in here. Oh yeah. Well, that ain't real bright red. It kind of toned down some. Look at that. Wow, I like that too. Well, I'm going to stay with it then. I'm going to stay in the same brown. The same red. And I'm going to come over and get just a little of the Indian yellow. bring it over here. And let them two colors play together. Because them two colors together, they make a pretty color too. Indian yellow and red. They make a dark orange. A dark orange. Oh yeah, about like that. That's, wow. Alright, then I'll finish it out in just straight cad yellow. And this color. And I'll just tap it till it becomes whatever it wants to become. And then that's the last color I'll add to it up here. Whatever this color wants to be. It ended up being orange. How about that? Alright. Then I'll pick up my script liner again. And I'll come right back up in here to the same old color we used in the tree earlier. And I'll come out of here. And I'll make just a old raggedy looking little stick right there. And I'll bring out another little raggedy stick about right here. And I'm gonna put a name off him right here. Just make it kind of balance it out a little bit right there. Alright, then to give this tree here a little more body to him over here, I'm gonna bring a couple little trunks down that you can see back in here now, and just kind of make it look like trees go further back into the woods back here. And then I will add just a couple in through here. And the only difference between doing these and taking that blade and doing it is these are black. So that's really the only difference. Alright, I'm going to say that kind of redeemed us a little bit after that haunted wave episode. That was a fun little painting to do. It came in and gave us the opportunity to have some fun, where we wasn't under a lot of pressure. Just something fun to do, something quick, something simple. A painting that anybody that's whether you've ever painted or not can paint this painting right here. I guarantee you can paint that painting right there. It's that simple. Alright, let me get my little monitor over here and see if we need to. No, we don't need to zoom in on that. Y'all can see that just fine, I think. I'll zoom in just a hair. How about that? Alright. We got it marked up, we got it done, we got it painted, and it was fun. And I want to thank all y'all for joining me. And I want to apologize again about the wave, because it just, I'm telling y'all, that thing was haunted from the first day till we finished it. And it did not go well, and I hope it don't hurt my channel much. I'm sure it made quite a few people mad, but maybe it won't have a long-term effect on us. Maybe they can find it in their heart to forgive me. Alright guys, I love y'all. God loves you more. Y'all have a blessed night, and I'll see you next time on Painting with Her.